The Monster Mile is the location for stop number 13 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series as we are set to go racing for the running of the FedEx 400. It is 60 laps of action on this racetrack here, much the same distance we have for the Coca-Cola 600, except this is a 1 mile racetrack and 24 degrees of banking on the turns here. Basically an overgrown Bristol is what Dover Downs International Speedway pretty much is. In other words, it's a track that pretty much chews up cars and spits them out. If Bristol was any indication, well, we could see about the same show almost at Dover. We'll find out. On the pole race event here today, his first pole of the season, Jackson Haywood, the 15 Wrangler Jeans Ford, is on the pole. He'll be alongside car number 5, Phil Parker, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet. Second row, we'll see William Brock in car number 4, the Kodak Film Oldsmobile, and number 90, Jesse Turner in the Ray Baron Frozen Pizza Ford. Third row has the Chevrolet of Levi McIntyre, the Tide Machine. He'll be alongside number 43, Mike Becker in the STP Pontiac. Fourth row finds Nathan Ormond in car 88. Good qualifying run for him. That good qualifying run for some of the guys in the top 10 in this field here. Those who haven't qualified all that well this season, like Ormond, Brock, and the 15 of Jackson Haywood. There, Joshua Osborne started alongside Ormond in number 25. Next row down has one of the two-time winners this season so far, Quentin Moore, the Quaker State Buick. Buick car number 26. He won a season at North Wilkesboro and again at California. He'll be alongside Seth Cullen, 52, in the Eureka Vacuum Cleaners Pontiac. Going to row 6 has one of our in-car cameras, Matt McIntyre in the Interstate Battery Chevrolet. He won Talladega, and he also won the All-Star Race down at Charlotte. He'll be alongside Dylan Young in car number 2, the J.D. Stacy Buick. Next row down has Charles Sanford in 24, the DuPont Chevrolet, and our second in-car camera rides inside Zach Rogers' car 33, the Skull Bandit Buick. Next row down has car number 50. It is Jean Sanford in her Pontiac. She's won twice this season. She won at Atlanta, where she won in convincing fashion. Then she lucked out into a win in the 600 at Charlotte. If you remember that finish, or should I say that crazy finish at Charlotte in the 600. Here, 21 of Cat Batts will start alongside her, the winner of the season at Martinsville. Next row down has Kyle Matthews in 42, winner of the season at Sonoma, the Meliella Pontiac. And the Country Time Pontiac car number 30 of Jay Jefferson, who had that heartbreaking loss down at Charlotte. He was the one that ran out of gas in the last lap under caution, and Gene Sanford lucked into a win in that one. Next row down has Johnny Gardner, number 11, the Mountain Dew Buick. He is alongside car number 8, Matt Haas, in the Miller American Buick. Next row down has Mitchell Collins in car 70, the Suns Medford Speed Pontiac. And our third in-car camera rides inside the Richmond winner, Jessica Shelton. Next row down has car number 22, Dylan Poteet in the Miller American Buick. And number 44, Ryan George is alongside. Next row down has Kyle Langland in 44 and Cole Deaver in car number 3, the winner at Rockingham this season. Next row down, Ryan Brommer in car 94, the Sunoco Ultra Oldsmobile. And 27, RJ Bishop, the Kodiak Pontiac. Next row down has number 12, Rob Evans, and number 1, Zach Winkle, who won the Daytona 500 this season. Next row down, Kev Sheeran, 71, and beside him, car number 47, Nathan Hudson. Next row down has car 83, Emmanuel Hartnett, and the wins Kmart Oldsmobile, and number 7, Wes McCoy, and a Xerox Antifreeze Ford. Next row down has number 13, Austin Colano, and alongside of him, Paul Minnick in a Strollite Ford, car number 6. Next row down has car 55, Henry Samper, and number 28, Keith Badson, who won the season at Bristol. Next row down has Alex Miller in 51, and beside him, number 75, Daniel Bouchard, and starting shotgun will be car number 29, Zachary Fitzwater, in the Hardee's Oldsmobile. So the field's the field of 41 cars gets set for 60 laps of action, 60 laps of rockin' sock'em action at Dover Downs International Speedway here. Kind of dread to see what we're going to have here in the early laps of this race or whatever, but anyway. So the field's lined up here. They'll be ready to give the command here in a minute to fire the engines here for the FedEx 400 at Dover.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So as the field of 41 heads out on pit road here, and onto the racetrack at Dover. We'll be back for the start right after this. Pace car looks up on the pit road here, so we're back at Dover Downs International Speedway, just in time for the start of the race here. Jackson Haywood in 15 and number 5 Phil Parker will have the front row for this event here. Haywood in an older light Ford, one of the three as such in the field as they come out to number 4 and they look for a green flag. We are racing at Dover. Jackson Haywood also looking for his first ever Castrol GTX Cup Series victory here. He hopes to have that happen here today from the pole position starting spot. And look at this already, 3 wide here. Charles Samber looking a little racy here as they on that first lap as they come out the 4th corner. Right there's usually the trouble spot at Dover, turn 4. Three wide racing happening here as you see Jesse Turner on the high side, Seth Cole in the middle, and Kyle Matthews to the low side here in the 42 car. Keep an eye on this punch right here as the front few cars have pulled away with Dylan Young out in front. Johnny Gardner and Zach Rogers in the side by side along with Turner as they go through the through first and second corners. And now Mitchell Collins goes to the low side in the 70 car. Here comes Gardner, Matthews in the low side of the track. Rogers gets himself out of a jam. Now Poteet's in the middle of it, and so is Dylan Young. Actually, my mistake. Dylan Young's not the one leading the race here. I thought he was for a minute. It's still Jackson Haywood in the 15 car who's leading this race right now. So my mistake on that right there. 3 wide, 2 rows deep. You don't see that often at Dover, and it's not pretty when it happens too. The last few tracks we've been on to, Charlotte and some of the tracks we've been on to, like Talladega, California, and some of the others, 3 wide is wide enough for those tracks here. This track at Dover, it's awfully tricky. And now Jessica Shelton and Ryan George finds himself in the vulnerable position of being in the middle as they come off turn number 2. Here you see Alex Miller and Zachary Fitzwater on the low side. They're trying to make their way through the field here. Shelton's trying to do the same thing too, except she's on the outside of the track. Joshua Osborne's now moving backwards in the field here as he's now behind Shelton at the moment here, hoping to try to find some headway and through the field here. Keith Batson doing the same thing too in the 28 car. And it appears things have settled down for the moment here, so they're now back to 2 wide racing. As Levi McIntyre now leads the race here with Phil Parker up in the 2nd position now. McIntyre, if you remember last season at Dover, he was in a battle between he and Seth Cole, and I forget who the 3rd driver was in the field though, but they were in the battle for the win in this racetrack here, and I want to say McIntyre, I think, won this race, either him or Seth, one of the two, but that was a battle that came down for the win here at this very track here last season. As Quentin Moore's now up in the high side of the 26 machine, as he, Matthews, and Matt McIntyre on his bunch here. On his bunch here, Matt McIntyre's having a pretty solid start to the season, much like Quentin Moore has in the 26 machine so far. On board with Matt McIntyre. In fact, Hendrick Motorsports has the top 3 cars in the field right now. Here, Levi McIntyre leads, Phil Parker second, and Charles Sanford running third. All 3 of them Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets. Two of them the old 80s Monte Carlos, and Matt McIntyre, or I should say Charles Sanford, like Matt McIntyre, in a Chevy Limina. And whoa, that was closer between Zach Rogers, Kyle Langland, and Quentin Moore. I thought Langland was going to go right into Zach Rogers and cause a wreck right there, come out that 4th corner. But they managed to keep the handle on these race cars here, and here comes Rogers to the low side, trying to grab position on Langland. Let's see what position that is for. Coming off the 4th turn here, Rogers going for 8th place, which he has 9th at the moment. Now he takes 8th away from Kyle Langland. Meantime, the pole sitter of the event, Jackson Haywood, he has slid back in the field. He's slid back to the 11th position. In the field, I should say 10th position now in this field. Back to the leaders, and we have a lead change here. Phil Parker goes to the top spot now, as Charles Sanford going into 2nd position. So they are trading. So a good, solid start here at Dover so far. Zach Rogers actually moving his way through the field as he's trying to get by the 88 and Nathan Orman. There it is, right there. Keep an eye on that 33 car. Rogers looking pretty stout here just in the early going so far in this race. And now Charles Sanford decides he wants to go for the lead, and here he goes. Here he comes to the low side. Parker led that lap, and now here comes Sanford, and he takes the DuPont colors up to the top spot on lap number 18 of this race at Dover. McIntyre drops to the 3rd position. Levi McIntyre, that is, and Kyle Matthews dropping the 4th. And 5th position is now Matt McIntyre in the 18 car as he's working his way up to the field. Now Levi decides he wants to go for the lead again. As he goes up to 2nd position, he's got his buddy Kyle Matthews with him in the 42 car. And now Phil Parker goes up in the high side, and he's going backwards down at number 5 car. And now finds a line in between McIntyre and Matthews, Matt McIntyre, that is. And Bill pulls a crossover move on Kyle Matthews and takes position back away. So that's 3rd position there he's now taken. And meantime, the other McIntyre, Levi, is now trying to work on Charles Sanford for the lead. Levi dips low on the track here, trying to find room. No, he finds nothing for the moment. Now Levi decides to go low again, finds nothing there neither as he goes down, as he's trying to work on Charles Sanford a little bit as they come through the track right now. Jackson Haywood, meantime, the 15 Wrangler car, he's working his way back up to the field, and now McIntyre gets loose on the high side, and Phil Parker decides to take evasive action, goes to the bottom side, has 2nd, now goes for the lead now in the 24 Sanford, and look at that 5 car go. Phil Parker, the outside pole sitter for this event. And now they're side by side as they're getting ready to pick this Pacers race started all over again. Boy, this is great racing we're having here at Dover. We usually never have a good race at Dover, seems like. But we are here today as Phil Parker's now leading. We've had quite a few lead changes already. And we're not even halfway through. We'll be halfway home in 7 laps of this race here as we're now completing the 23rd lap. And now down to 37 laps remaining in this race. Jay Jefferson and Kev Shear, by the way, having a battle here. Nathan Orman's now going backwards in the 88 machine. Ryan Brommer and Seth Cole now nose to tail on the track. You saw where everybody's running it in the field right now. Phil Parker still leads, but here comes the pole sitter for the event, Jackson Haywood, in the 15 car. And whoa, Sanford puts the bumper to him in that number 15 car. I think Haywood came down and didn't know Sanford was there. And so Charles kind of giving him a little bit of a hello, I'm just there before in case you're dozing off. And meantime, here comes Jackson Haywood for the lead, and it's just like the pulse. It's like the front row for this race here. Haywood, the pole sitter, and outside pole sitter Phil Parker. Parker led the last time by, and now here comes Haywood to the low side. He takes the lead. And here comes number 18, Matt McIntyre. He's going to make a 3 wide for the lead. And it's Matt McIntyre, I think, to the top spot. Nope, Haywood had the lead that time by. And McIntyre does have the preferred group to the low side, and he's got the lead for the moment. And where did Kyle Langland come from in the 14 car? He's up to second place. And meantime, they're getting ready to shuffle the deck here at Dover. You don't usually hear that at Dover. You usually hear it at Daytona and Talladega, but 3 wide between Parker as he gets passed by the Buckeyes of Levi McIntyre and Kyle Matthews. And they really are Buckeyes because both of them are from the state of Ohio. And meantime, William Brock is now beginning to roll in the number 4 car, as well as Mike Becker in 43. Both of them started top 10 in this field so far, and both running very strong at the moment. Mike Becker has won here at Dover before in that 43 car. Through the third and through turns 1 and 2 they go here. William Brock down the low side of the track here. And here comes Zach Rogers. Zach Rogers going for the lead here. Rogers still looking for that first victory of the season. He hopes to do it here today at Dover as we're now past halfway home. 32 in the books and 28 to go. Rogers, you remember, won 4 times last season and finished the season number 5 in the points. His first season back in a long time. Here, having an okay season so far, but still not what Zach was hoping for this season so far. As he does believe that 33 team is a serious championship contender, but the competition here this season is very, very stiff. Cars now lined up single file. Here comes Charles Sanford and William Brock as they both dive to the low side and move Sanford into second position now. Matt McIntyre continues to lead the race. William Brock in the 4 car, Levi McIntyre in 17. They're both to the low side. Kyle Langland and Matt and Mike Becker, they're both trying to make their way through the field here. Langland running in 7th. There's Becker in 8th. 9th is Quentin Moore. 10th is Kyle Matthews. That's how they run at the moment here. In case any of you wonder where some of our other top drivers are running, well, there's Johnny Gardner, Kev Shear, and Seth Cole. They are 11, 12, and 13 respectively. Phil Parker's dropped to 15th. Poteet's 16th. The other Dylan Young is 17th in the field. Cole Deaver's up to 18th at the moment in the Goodrich Chevrolet. He's having a pretty solid run, so he's having an okay run so far. Jean Sanford, the 2-time winner of the season, she's running 20th in the field here. About to get passed here by Zachary Fitzwater in 21st position. Fitzwater, you remember, started dead last. Jay Jefferson's 22nd. Keith Batson 24th. Some of our other top runners here. Jesse Turner's 27th in the field. Joshua Osborne's running 30th. Kat Batson 31st. Jessica Shelton, meantime, running 32nd in the field. She is going to want to trash that setup at Dover for next time we go to Dover, that's for sure. and Jess usually runs very well at Dover. So something amiss on that number 9 car. Definitely all weekend long she qualified poorly in the field, and now is sliding back big time in the field there. So Shelton right now has now dropped to the 34th position to make that. So yes, Shelton's team definitely missed a setup on that car at Dover for sure. And meantime, William Brock has taken the lead over Levi McIntyre. So William Brock moves to the top spot. Matt McIntyre has fallen back just a little bit. 3 wide but they're behind though. Phil Parker, Henry Sanford, and the 15 car of Jackson Haywood. Haywood's now back on the high side again. Squeezes right between Henry Sanford and Kev Shearer. And whoa, Dylan Poteet there just about gave the 15 car the bumper too. And Dylan Young leaning on Cole Deaver a bit as they come off that 4th turn. We mentioned turn 4 is kind of a little bit of a cozy spot just between those cars. And now they're scattered all over the place again. Meantime, the top 5 is broken away of Brock McIntyre, Levi McIntyre that is, Zach Rogers, Kyle Langland, and Mike Becker. Meantime, Charles Sanford's up to 6th position, Matthews in 7th, Johnny Gardner's up to 8th. Johnny Gardner's has won here before as well too. And here comes Levi McIntyre, 17 to the low side, looking for his first victory of the season. As is William Brock, as is Kyle Langland, as is Zach Rogers, as is Mike Becker, and the 24 Charles Sanford. The top 6 cars have not yet won this season. We have already had 10 winners this season so far in the first 12 races. And whoa, Kyle Langland just got William Brock loose going in through turns 1 and 2. As they come off turn number 2 here, McIntyre still out in front here. Here comes Kyle Langland. If he's won the series, he has not won in a long, long time. This is his first season back. And if Zach Rogers this season was any indication of Langland's expectations, then I'm sure Langland's hoping for a season like what Rogers has had, like what Zach Rogers had last season. This time by, that completes the 46th lap. We have 14 laps remaining here at Dover. Zach Rogers, here he comes to the low side of McIntyre, or the low side of Kyle Langland, should say, takes position away. That's 2nd place. Levi McIntyre, the number 17, tied Chevrolet out in front. Zach Rogers, the number 33, Skull Bandit Buick, and William Brock, the number 4, Kodak Film Oldsmobile. And here comes number 24, Charles Sanford to the low side as the Jeff Gordon cars moves his way up through the field. And here comes Zach Rogers for the lead, car 33. They're side by side. Who leads this lap? McIntyre does. Boy, what racing we are having here today at Dover, and it is not over yet. We're not over yet by a long shot. Coming down to 11 laps to go now. William Brock in the number 4 car now out in 2nd position, I should say. McIntyre's up to 3rd. Levi, that is. Where's Matt McIntyre, you ask? Well, he's in the 18 car, obviously. Matt McIntyre right now runs in 7th position at the moment here. And now looks low in the 24 car, Charles Sanford for position. That is for 5th. And he's got it. Kyle Matthews has now moved his way up to the 4th position now. And Johnny Gardner trying to follow the 18 car a little bit here to see if he can work his way through the field and try to get in contention for the win. Johnny Gardner's in there, the 43 car, Mike Becker, 15 car, Jackson Haywood, the pole sitter for the event, at over 164 miles an hour. That was the pole speed for this event. Fastest lap race so far being set by Kyle Langland at 165 miles an hour. The top 6 cars have run over 165, which is super fast for Dover. And you saw the average speed so far, 162.255, make that 162.239. So the average speed after 52 laps of this race. Zach Rogers trying to hold on here at Dover. Matthews looking to become the third two-time winner of the season so far. And Zach Rogers or William Brock trying to extend it to 11 different winners this season. Five laps to go at Dover. William Brock, car number 4. His last win was at California several seasons ago. He peeks to the low side of Zach Rogers. Rogers says no. 4 laps to go. There's the margin right there. 9/100ths of a second between those two cars. Less than 1/10 of a second. And you can't even blink your eyes in that moment. You can't even blink your eyes in that kind of a time, or even snap your fingers too. Kyle Matthews trying to close up there, trying to make. Best thing that happened for Zach Rogers though is if Matthews looks low on the 4 car of William Brock and start battling side by side, and then this is going to let the 33 car pull away. 2 laps to go. William Brock, he's that close right here. He looks to the low side of Rogers. Says no way on that one there. And meantime, Matthews has punted the 4 car up the track. Here comes Kyle Matthews to the low side. Meantime, the McIntyres there, both side by side. White flag waves. McIntyre and Levi McIntyre side by side for 4th place here. Levi gets punted up the track by Matt. Does Brock have one more shot in his arsenal here in the 3rd and 4th turns here? I don't think it's going to happen there. Off turn number 4 he comes, and to the checker flag, car number 33, Zach Rogers wins the FedEx 400 at Dover. Boy, a dramatic but yet hard-fought win by the man from Massachusetts. Zach Rogers wins the race here today at Dover International Speedway. His first of the season, and 11th different winner this season so far. But boy, don't say William Brock didn't give him a challenge there those last 4 or 5 laps. That was some great racing. Here, average speed 162.013 miles an hour. As we are 13 races in the books here, Zach Rogers wins. 2nd position is William Brock. 3rd is Kyle Matthews. Matt McIntyre 4th. Charles Samper ends up finishing 5th. 6th will go to Levi McIntyre. Jackson Hayward, a solid day performance, finishing 7th. Johnny Gardner 8th. Bill Parker 9th. And Mike Becker with a good solid run, finishing in 10th position. Kyle Langland dropped the 11th spot. 12th was Zachary Fitzwater from 41st to 12th. Here, Zachary Fitzwater's definitely might have the hard charger award on this one here. Keith Batson with a pretty good charge himself there, up from about 38th to 13th in the final order in this race here. Where did Batson qualify for that fact too? Where did he qualify? Keith started this race in 38th position, so he was way up in. So yeah, he definitely moved his way up through the field nicely, up about 25 spots. But that's opposing to Zachary Fitzwater's 29 spots he moved up in the field. Dylan Young was 14th, Cole Deaver 15th, Quentin Moore dropped to 16th in the final running order. Seth Cole was 17th. The Sanfords finished right together. Gene was 18th, Henry was 19th in the field, and those two finished nose to tail as well. Jesse Turner was 20th, J. Jefferson 21st, Cat Batson 22nd, Joshua Osborne 23rd. Here, Jefferson, Batson, and Osborne not much of a factor in this race here today. Unfortunate for them. Keb Sheeran, same with ditto with Keb Sheeran and Dylan Poteet. Those two weren't factors neither. 24th and 25th. Rob Evans 26th, Ryan George 27th, Nathan Orman 28th, 29th, Nathan Hudson 30th. We'll go to Alex Miller, Austin Clown 32nd, and 31st, and 32nd where you'll find Jessica Shelton in the 32nd position here. Like I said, that team's going to want to trash that Dover setup, Dover, next time we come here, because, I mean, that card did not run good at all here, but Shelton, so Shelton with the day, I'm sure she'll want to forget it, Dover for sure. Matt Haas 33rd, 34th we'll go to Paul Minnick, 36th we'll go to Zach Winkle, Emmanuel Harden 37th, 38th Ryan Brommer, Mitchell Collins 39th, 40th we'll go to Dana Bouchard, or 39th we'll go to Dana Bouchard, 40th Wes McCoy, and RJ Bishop was 41st. So that will do it today at Dover Downs International Speedway here. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel on YouTube, and be sure to like the NNSCRA page on Facebook. Make sure to do those two things. We got everything on this channel here on YouTube. We got NR races, we got gaming videos, we got NR online races, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Goldstars for his channel. And be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup series on this channel as well, and on our other NNSCRA series, including the NNSCRA, including not only the Duracell Cup series on this channel, but also the NNSCRA Marble Studios Cup series on Thrashman 899's channel as well. Be sure to check those series out. Their series out, some of the best offline stuff under the NNSCRA umbrella, and you will not regret checking those races out neither. So that will do it today at Dover Downs International Speedway. Congratulations again to Zach Rogers, the winner of the FedEx 400. For now, this is James Qualson. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you at Riverside.